All right, good evening, IHSA football family. How you guys doing? This is episode 20, The Dish. We got a coach, Jack Cornell, Quincy Notre Dame head coach. Just overall an awesome guy. A leader of men. His coaching staff is awesome too. Coach Morrison, all of those guys. That community, they get behind their team. Just that whole area is awesome. And Jack Cornell, to me, is one of the top young coaches in the state of Illinois, and he's only going to get better. Former Quincy Notre Dame alumni too, played for University of Illinois, also a former NFLer as well, and just an overall great man. And definitely check it out. But this staff is very energetic. The team's energetic. And it's just a very, very positive football program and community as well. So here's my interview with the Dish 20, episode 20. Jack Cornell, if you want me to do interview with anybody, player, coach, let me know. My email is coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. Here you go, episode 20. Quincy Notre Dame head coach, Jack Cornell. All right, welcome to the Dish 20. And I got a very special guest. Quincy Notre Dame head coach, Jack Cornell, hell of a coach, just an overall great guy, and definitely one of the big coaches, young coaches in the state of Illinois that you definitely need to know. Coach Cornell, thanks for joining.
Well, I appreciate the kind words, Coach Big Pete. It's an honor to be on here with you.
Thank you. First question, tell us a little bit about your football background.
Yeah, so I grew up in the great city of Quincy, Illinois, went to high school at Quincy Notre Dame High School. Graduated from QND in 2007 and then went and played at the University of Illinois for Ron Zook in 2007 to 2011. Went to a couple bowl games there, had some success, and got to play at the next level even after that. Played for the Ravens in 2012 and 2013, won a Super Bowl with the Ravens, and then was let go by them and picked up by the Raiders. So,
okay.
After that, I came home and started coaching immediately. And a couple years after that, was the head coach at QND. So it's not been a whole lot of time, but it's been a lot of fun, in the time that has been.
How did your fall season go last season?
Yeah, we made it back to the playoffs. It was good in the state of Illinois to have that opportunity again and to extend our season. I think our guys and a lot of teams, I'm sure in the state, recognize what they got taken away from them in 2020. And so our guys were grateful to have the chance to compete for a postseason opportunity, and they did. Came up short in the first round against Civic Memorial. It was a really good team, but excited for the future, excited for what our guys did last year and kind of getting things back on track for us.
Now, this is one of the weirdest things that I've ever seen in my life, was your first win of your career at Quincy Notre Dame at Westmont, my hometown. I went to the game to cover it. I never, ever seen a group of people that much in the distance from Quincy to Westmont travel.
That was a long way.
That I could not believe it. Your community is one of the best communities in the state of Illinois. They're very supportive, and they're just awesome. They're awesome parents. Give us your feelings about this Quincy Notre Dame community.
Yeah, obviously Quincy's on its own little island out here in the west central part of the state. And for us to get to a lot of places, it requires us to travel a great distance, and our families understand that. And they, that season in particular was, not a great year from the record standpoint, but did a lot of learning that year as a coaching staff, as a program, had a lot of young guys playing that year. But yeah, we went up to Westmont knowing that we had a chance to compete and play well. And our guys did that. They were excited and got the first win, and was so happy for just our players and all the work that they had put in from the time that I got hired in March of 2018 all the way through the summer into the fall. And that was like a week 5 game. And I just want to add that every time that Coach Big Pete's been at QND football, we won. So we're 2-0 in the house, Coach. Any chance you can come to all of our games?
I don't. Hey, you guys killed my Sentinels. That was bad, man. That was bad.
Those guys competed hard, man. I remember that game. That was a tough fight, and I tell you, I was very impressed with the facilities. That's still, I don't think I've ever seen a nicer grass field at the high school level.
Yeah.
That took me back to my college days. So
some alumni would disagree with you.
Well, I thought it was great. So
Hey.
that night it was special. Every other night I
Yep.
can't speak to it, but
Talking about fields, your field, that's a beautiful field.
Yeah. Our administration has done a great job here in the last several years of upgrading a lot of our facilities, and that's not the field that I played on. I can tell you that. My last fall season was 2006. I was a senior, 17 years old, and it was grass and barely grass. I'm going to tell you, it was a lot of mud. And for our community to come together and support our athletic department as a whole, I mean, because it's not just us playing on it, it's soccer, boys, girls soccer. I mean, any sports that needs to use it. We've got youth soccer, youth football, all kinds of teams that play on it and get to be on our campus, and it's great. And it is gorgeous, and it's home to us, and a lot of people, they don't know what the work that went into building that up. So a lot of credit goes to our administration, Bill Cornell, our AD, all of those people that played a part in that.
What should incoming freshmen know about this Quincy Notre Dame program that's coming into this football program? What should they know?
Yeah, they should know that they're going to be held accountable, in the classroom, in the community, on the field. We want guys that are high character guys, and we want guys that will work hard on and off the field. How you live your life off the field is how you live your life on the field. Ron Zook said that to us constantly in college. And those words, they ring true. And I think that's one of the great things that football provides our young people anymore, is that ability to hold each other accountable and to work for something together. And require every single person on the team to do their part. So, it's funny that you mentioned that, because we just had our incoming freshmen start working out today. Today was their first day, and I'm really excited for that group. Our numbers continue to come up. We got about 80 kids on our team right now, which is a good, solid number for a small Catholic high school in West Central Illinois. And I'm really excited for what they bring. Those guys last year, they won a championship at the youth level, so they know how to win. And now they just kind of got to do things our way. And I tell you, a big thing with that is just having fun. Our program, our guys, we place a high value on having fun. You can compete at a high level and have fun at the same time. I mean, you're going to build success. And so that's kind of our plan and how we want to implement things.
Awesome. Who are some of the kids that are up and coming for this fall from Quincy Notre Dame that I should keep an eye out for, that people need to know about?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, our senior class in particular has had a lot of success here at QND. You talk about their freshman year was 2019. We went to the semifinals in the 3A class. Then their sophomore year, we were voted the 2A state champions by the media after that spring season, where we were the runner-ups in the Big 12 conference, one or two plays away from beating Peoria High School, and a small school like that. And in the fall, we go back to the playoffs. We string a lot of good wins together, beat Quincy High for the first time in a long time in our program. So these guys know how to win. But, some guys in particular, Jackson Stratton's probably the first guy to come up. He's going to lead both our offense and our defense. I'm not going to say he's going to lead our special teams, because the kid's got to catch his win somehow, He's not going to come off the field for us.
Yep.
And I'm afraid to say that, because he is a hard worker. He's a special competitor. He's a great human being. He's played a lot for us. Another guy is going to be Dalton Miller. Tell you what, if you're watching the highlights on the local news around Quincy, Illinois right now, you're going to see Dalton Miller dropping home run after home run on the baseball diamond. He's a heck of a baseball player and a heck of an athlete. He plays linebacker for us. He plays fullback. It's probably most fun to just watch him block out of the backfield. I'm a big fullback guy, Coach. You know that about me.
Mm-hmm.
And he plays with a special type of edge. And he's a big, strong athlete that bends well, that works really hard, and has a good attitude. Another, more high character. Wilson Henning up front is an offensive lineman, defensive lineman for us. Has played a lot. He's probably the strongest guy on our team. He's deadlifting, almost 550 pounds for 5 reps, smooth reps. And he's somebody that wants to play at the next level and has been putting that work in to get there. So, we have a lot of guys, Coach. I mean, honestly, I could go on and on about a lot of our guys. Those 3 are special dudes that have played a lot of ball for us. But I'm really excited for the team that we have this fall. I think we got a great group of guys that are competitive, have played a lot of ball. And, I think what any football coach in the state of Illinois would tell you right now, it's so great to have the off season back and to have this time where, we had football season, then we had a full wrestling season after that, and basketball. I guess I should shout out basketball too, but wrestling is where my heart's at. Now you have the chance in baseball season, track season, to have that, the consecutive schedule that you're supposed to be having, plus all the weight room time, plus all the recovery time going into a summer where, everybody's going to have their reconditioned helmets back. We didn't have those last year, so we didn't get to have a summer contact period even. So getting back on the normal kind of timeline for us is really good too. And that mixed with a group of kids who's competitive and have high character, I'm really excited for the fall we're about to have.
Awesome. What advice would you give to a young head coach? Your head coach that just took over. What is some of the best advice that you would give?
I would say don't be afraid to ask for help. A lot of people maybe have the misconception that, the head coach kind of does everything. And while it's very true, we do a lot of things and head coaches wear a lot of hats. It takes a village. This is the greatest team sport there is on the planet. And so no one man can bring success to any team, that's coach or player. So you got to surround yourself with people that have your same values, that believe the same things you believe, that want to win the right way. And are willing to do it for dirt cheap, because it's high school football in the state of Illinois, you know what I mean? And it takes a niche kind of person to do it, and you're impacting young people, which is the most important job another human being could have right now. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
All right. Now I got to ask some of the funny question. Who's the funniest coach on the staff?
The funniest coach on the staff. Oh man, we've got a lot of funny coaches. We always get together and it's always a great time. I think it just depends on who you get at. Our DB's coach, Brady Ginnebacher, he's somebody that can talk a million miles an hour. He has a really funny laugh. Our players love him. He's great to have around. Another one of our coaches, Russ Hinkamper, he tells a joke to the coaches before every game. But we've got a lot of funny guys. We've got a lot of characters.
Who's the coach that's always late to practice?
Oh, that's not a fair question, Coach, because, we got a lot of guys that work outside the school, so they come when they can.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, if COVID's taught me anything, it's how to be more patient with guys. I'm never late. Being on time is my number one rule, so I guess I can answer that question the easy way. As much as we don't want guys to be late, sometimes life gets in the way. Guys have.
You should have said Coach Morrison.
Coach Mo was always on time. He's and that's why he's great to have around.
Awesome.
Many reasons. For sure.
Who's a player that you coached against last season that really impressed you?
Oh man, Muhammad Seymour had a lot of really impressive guys.
Yeah.
I think that there's probably several guys. Charlie Jagusa from Rock Island Alleman, not a great, the program, the state that it's in right now. I'm hoping that they can turn things around, but he's a state champion wrestler. He's somebody that my first year in 2018, we played Rock Island Alleman. And the coach, pointed him out to me because he still could sit down on the roster with his measurables and said, that's going to be a special dude. So, O-lineman, give it credit where credit's due. He's somebody that's real special. Luther St. Charles had a couple of D1 guys, but, I'd say Charlie Jagusa, he's somebody that we're going to have to look out for again this year. He's going to be a senior. He's got, more to prove. He wants to be a big-time blue chip recruit. I'm excited to see the kind of season he's going to have.
Now, congratulations. I know you just had a kid.
That's right. Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
How do you balance your family life with coaching and everything else? How do you balance it?
I'm still figuring it out. I can tell you that so my son was born week 5, the same week we played Breeze Mater Day, which everybody around here knows that's a big week for us. That's a big week. So my son happened to be born that same week. So I only got up 6 hours of sleep that whole week. Which was fine by me. I was still, fired up to be doing what I was doing, but it definitely takes some adjustment, a lot less sleep, even more so on top of what you already don't get in the football season. But, it's such a blessing, honestly. I mean, that our son brings so much joy to my wife and I's life that, the good Lord blessed us with a healthy young boy that, we love so much, we love dearly, and our families do. It's a great, great thing.
Now, that's awesome. What would you say right now to any recruit he's got, I'm going to go to the NFL, yada, 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 yada. I'm NFL. What would you say to them?
I'd say it's good to have goals, but you can't go to the NFL until you go to college first. So let's talk about graduating high school. Let's talk about getting good grades. Let's talk about putting our foot in the door at the next level. And here are all the steps that we can take in order to do that. whether it's managing our Twitter profiles the right way, putting out highlight tapes, getting good grades being the number one thing. I mean, I can tell you, somebody that worked in college football, the first thing you watch is the highlight tape. And so the first 5 plays got to stick out, and then everything after that has to stick out. Then the next thing you're looking at is the GPA. And, even a few years ago, you still looked at the test scores, and anymore, that's really not something that a lot of schools need necessarily. If you have good enough grades, that's going to, really be the biggest part of it. And that's not just, another football coach saying that. I mean, that's really where you can make a lot of money or lose a lot of money in a scholarship or not even get any at all. So, certainly the NFL is where every football player wants to go to. If a 5'6", 105-pound soaking wet kid came up to me and said that, I'd say, well, again, it's good to have goals, buddy, but let's get good grades in high school. Let's play, be the best teammate we can right now, and then let those chips fall as they may.
And you brought something good. You coached at Culver Stockton, and then did you coach anywhere else at the college level?
I helped out at Quincy University when I first moved back to Quincy. 3 years under Tom Magic and Gary Bass. So yeah, very familiar with college football.
What was one of the biggest learning curves for you when you went on to the coaching college level? What would you say?
The recruiting process itself from that level, even I was fortunate coming out of high school to have a lot of Power 5 Division I offers, and it came down to a couple other schools in the Big Ten for me. So, every scholarship offer that I received was a full ride. And at that level, at the NAI level, D2, D3, even the 1AA FCS level, it's not always a full ride. And the way that college coaches have to piece these scholarships together to get the best guys they can, and how they go about evaluating players, it's a lot of fun. Recruiting is a lot of fun, I think, as a college coach, and that's what makes a good college coach a good coach. But your ability to have relationships with thousands of kids at a time, if you're good at it, is a challenging aspect of it, but something that when you sign a really good player, I mean, it's a really exciting thing for you as a professional, for your team. You just got better in that moment when a kid signed. And when things all come together on a recruit, it's, nothing really beats that. Even winning games, it is really comparable with that, because that's a big, big part of the job, coaching at the college level. And that's probably what you spend the most time on throughout the entire year overall.
All right. What do you feel that some people or people around the area or people in that region, what's a common misconception of Quincy Notre Dame? What do you think it is?
I think that people think, people at QND can be entitled and spoiled, and that, is true for a lot of places. But not every kid that walks through our door was born with a silver spoon in their mouth. We certainly are in a better position than a lot of other places, and I think that's something our school can capitalize on. But QND is a very special place and welcome everybody of all faiths, of all walks of life, and anybody that wants their child to have a Catholic education. We want them to come to Quincy Notre Dame High School. But not everybody, a lot of people struggle with a lot of things in life, you, me, everybody. And just because you go to a private high school doesn't mean that you have, everything given to you. A lot of our kids do. A lot of our kids are very blessed. And we try to do everything we can to pay it forward for everybody that can, and to give them the experience that comes with being a student at QND.
All right, one last question. This is a little bit of a funny observation, funny question. How awesome is your media? Your Quincy, that area of media is awesome.
Yeah,
with
man.
Hopefully I didn't Shuckman, all those guys.
Chuck Betty, man. I mean, these guys, what's special about it now, Coach, is that these guys covered me when I was in high school.
Yeah.
So that kind of, first off, tells you how old they are. But second off, just how long they've been doing this for. I can remember getting interviewed by Chris Dewar when he had hair. We're very blessed to have highly competent media people in our community that cover all of our athletes and all of our sports. And I tell you, it's not just football that's getting it. I mean, it's basketball, it's wrestling, it's soccer, it's baseball, it's tennis, it's cross country, it's everything. And our young people are so fortunate to have that in their lives and have that experience. And there's a lot of great media people out there. There's a lot that can be a lot better, certainly. But definitely the two individuals you name. I mean, Chris Dewar, Matt Shuckman, these are guys that have been doing it for a long time at a very high level.
Yeah, they're just awesome.